Doing good, OJ. How you doing? What's cracking, Chris? What y'all got going on tonight? How did the driving for dollars go, OJ? Chris, you doing the podcast? Yes, sir. What's the podcast about? What up, Solomon? What's cracking, Shumo? Shimo? Hope I said that right. Just ran through Max and Kane Wholesale to Mia's interview. How was the interview, Chris? Or how was the podcast? I should say. Good. Lots of addresses are gonna send out some mail tomorrow. I'm a newbie, just started this week. That's what's up, man. You just started this week. Just keep doing what you're doing. That driving for dollars, it'll bring you some deals in. Simon, I've been in business I think about 3.5 years now. What it is, what it ain't, our carp cracking. Consistency is the key, was the moral of the story, which I agree. Sometimes I struggle with consistency, man. You know, and that's a part of it too, man. Keeping yourself motivated, keeping yourself consistent, and keeping yourself disciplined. That's a lot of it too. I'm a Lions fan. All I'm talking is wholesaling for the rest of the season. Laughing my ass off. I know that's right, William Todd. See, you being a Lions fan, you can understand my frustrations on Sunday after the game, Sunday evening, Sunday nights, because just like me, you used to your team losing. So, so I know you feel my pain, brother. ATL wholesaler, I drive for dollars and cold call, no deals yet. White pages work. Max 20 looks. Spokio aren't ready. Looking too good. How long you been doing it, Shumo? I hope I'm saying that right. Chris Tate, if you don't mind, drop that link for that podcast in the comments. I want to check it out a little bit later. I'll go in there and check it out if you still got it. What it is, marble grass. Chris said he got a deal done for 1,500 off Craigslist, so don't overlook anything, folks. He's absolutely right. Congratulations, Chris. I got my the first contract I got was from Craigslist. I didn't close the deal though. I made rookie mistakes. 5 months really got organized with Excel. 3 months. Man, I don't know nothing about Excel, and I got that too. I got to become a better nerd, for real, for real. So, Young West, our cart, um, our cart. This is a good question. He wants to know, or she wants to know, how can you go about getting a list of probate properties? That's a great question because I love probates, y'all. Y'all watch any of my older videos, y'all know I'm always yapping about probates. But you can get a list of probates. You can go the free route, which is to go to the county clerk house, the probate part, and ask them for probates. They'll probably direct you into somewhere where there's computers. You can just get them off the computers. Or some of them may be old school. You just got to dig through the books. But anyway, go to the county clerk house. That's the free way. Or you can buy some. You can buy some from a list provider who sell probates. From my experience, they're gonna charge you like $150 per county or per city, however you break it up. But they normally do it per county. But I love probates. Help me help you. Yeah, they on if they on Craigslist, they definitely want to sell. Nowadays for Craigslist, you got a lot of wholesalers on there too, like myself. No problem with art card. I appreciate that link, Chris. Look like I gotta prove it though, which I just did. Solomon want to know, when I look for probates, do I look for the probates that already went through court or the ones that are going to the court? Go to You want the ones that have already went through the probate process. That's the ones you want, because the ones that are going through, um, still some red tape there. Definitely plenty of wholesalers there. Do you cold call probates? No, I mail them. I mail them. I do know when I go to the courthouse that they do have the phone numbers listed. And the crazy thing is, I always write down the phone numbers, but I don't cold call them. I send them some mail, and I guess my mind frame or what I be thinking is, I'm a little skeptical calling them from a probate list with somebody who's probably, well, somebody who's obviously close to them who just passed away. So I send them letters, and if they're really motivated to sell, in hopes that they'll call me back, which a good bit of them do. So probate's the way to go, y'all. That's the way to go. That list is typically harder to get to, like a vacant list. So a lot of wholesalers or a lot of investors, they don't work the probate list like they do vacant list, the apps or absentee owner list. So y'all jump on them probates, man. I'm telling y'all, they'll pay off. Chris said, "Excuse his ignorance, but what is the pricing on stamps for mail? They gonna charge you. I buy them by the book, and they 9.90. Well, $10. $10 a book, which is 20 stamps. That's how I buy my stamps." OJ wants to know, what's your comp running process. I use places like iComps, Zillow, um, places like that. A few other places I go to on the web. And what I look for is the sold properties. That's what you want to look for. The recently sold. You ain't really worrying about what's listed or what's for sale. You want to look at what has been sold, because that's going to be universal on any site you go to. The price that the house sold for is going to be the price that house sold for, and that's public records. And in your local market, a lot of times, of course, you're still looking at comps, but a lot of times you just really want to know that local market, so you already know what the prices are in certain areas, what people will and will not pay in certain areas, and that's going to really come with experience. I mean, when I first started, I used to always hear people talking about, well, you got to know your market, know your market, know your market. And now I really understand what they mean when they say you got to know your market, master your market. Got to know your local market and what's going on, what's selling, what ain't selling, what part of town easy to move, what part of town gonna be kind of hard to move, stuff like that. Marble Grass says, you recommend probate for rookies, newbies? Absolutely, Absolutely. Most certainly. Like I say, that those leads, most people don't really work as hard as they do the vacant leads. You know what I'm saying? The vacant properties. A lot of people don't even like dealing with probates because it's a sensitive situation. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just rather pursue a lot of different other leads. And then those are, and if you buy them leads, which a lot of people do, because if you're doing them yourself, it's gonna take time looking through those records. It's streamlined, but it ain't totally user friendly. So a lot of people rather pay for them, and those are, in my experience, those are your most expensive leads as a wholesaler. In my experience, probate leads, because like in my some of the market I be buying probate properties in, or probate leads, man, because you paying by the county. So no matter if that county got 200 probate leads that month, and you paying by the month too. Um, so no matter if they got 200 probate leads that month or 20 probate leads that month, you're gonna pay $150. So in the markets I was buying, I was getting like sometimes 27 leads or 32 leads, and I'm paying $150. So that's paying a lot per lead, and that's another reason a lot of people be like, the return on investment for these leads ain't what I'm anticipating. But I promise you stick with them, you work them, they gonna work. They work for you, man. Especially the people, and I'm giving y'all some Jews right now, but especially the leads where the house has been probated or willed to somebody who lives out of state. Out of town is good too, but out of state is even better. You know what I'm saying? Most of them gonna be somebody that's in that same city, but the ones that are out of state, out of city, man, get those. Let me try to catch up, y'all. Man, precisely, Chris. Precisely. You know, once you get it, you start marketing it. Your buyers, they're gonna let you know what is a good deal and what is not. Can you give an example of how you take those comps and find out what your price off of what the seller would be? Um, as far as the comps go, I'll take a look at the comps. You know what I'm saying? Similar square footage, bed, baths, all that stuff. As far as what I'm gonna offer to the seller, that's gonna depend on what the numbers tell me. You know what I'm saying? RV, repairs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes I don't consider, sometimes that whole wholesaling formula don't even work. Not saying it don't work, but sometimes it don't work. Sometimes you're gonna have properties where you put in your wholesaling calculator, and your calculator gonna tell you this deal can't be done, but it can be done, and that goes back to knowing your market. So sometimes I already know, like, look, I can look at this house. It's in the hood, but it is a brick house, but it's in the hood. So everybody around here love brick houses, but it's in the hood. The neighborhood ain't really flourishing right now. So the wholesaling formula gonna say this deal can't be done, but I already understand and I know. Look, if I can get the seller under $10,000, I can at least sell it for 10 grand. 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 900 square foot house. You know what I'm saying? Even though the wholesaling formula said it won't work, just knowing that market and what people will buy and they won't buy. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that house went brick, then I probably could find a buyer for it. But being it's a brick house, that still adds that value onto it. So again, a lot of it goes to just knowing your market, and it's just gonna come over time. It's trial and error, basically experience. Where would I go for a probate list or information to get leads? Um, Let me see. You can go to the county clerk, and that's a question James Washington asked. You can go to the county clerk house. Damn, the county courthouse and get them for free. You can even go online. Some counties have them online, so you can just do a Google search and see if that county has them online. And if you want some paid ones, James, you know what? I'm gonna try to Let me see if I could put a link in the comments, and that way I can give you a spot to go get some. Hold on a second. Stand by. Okay. That link I just put in there, follow that link. That'll get you where you want to go. That's what's up, Solomon. Yeah, just stick with them, man. Just stick with them. You might mail for 3 or 4 months before you get a real catch on your line. But when that catch on that line come in, go and reel that joker up. You know what I'm saying? Pull it on in. Pull it on in the boat. Get them. Have you ever dealt with a property? This is OJ Jamrock asked this question. This is a great question, OJ. Have you ever dealt with a property owned by a church or board of education? Yes, I have. Actually, earlier this year, I think I did 2 deals owned by a church. I know I did one for sure. I think I did two. But yeah, when I used to ignore those leads for some reason. I see it was owned by a church or board of education, and I wouldn't even pay it no mind. I wouldn't mail them or nothing like that. But I got over time just started like, bump this. I'm about to start mailing these churches, man. They'll call you back. It's gonna be normally the pastor gonna call you back. Normally the pastor gonna call you back. Typically, what I'm saying, from my experiences, I'm always typically gonna be talking to the pastor. Normally they'll call you back. You know what I'm saying? I've had a situation where it was in a church name, but the pastor actually is the person who bought the properties with his money, but he just had it in the church name. So yeah, definitely call them churches, because a lot of times tend to deal with the churches. A lot of times people will actually donate those houses to churches. A lot of times it's how churches acquire those vacant properties. Somebody has donated that property to that church. So realistically, the church really hasn't paid any money to acquire that property. So somebody might have donated to them 5 years ago, and they might have at one time thought they was going to fix it up and use it for the good of the church or whatever. And over time, they just never got around to it. And just like any other regular person, vacant house is no longer it's no longer an investment. It becomes a liability, and they decide to sell it. So yeah, absolutely. I've actually even mailed out to the county. You know how the county, sometimes they'll even have somebody call you back. So yeah, man, mail out on people. Solomon says, appreciate it, man. I hope you do more of these live chats. Thank you, Solomon. And I know I need to do more, man. I don't know. I have to be in the mood to kind of go live. Really, I have to be in the mood to even do the videos that I do. And I just went live a lot tonight because I was pissed off that the Falcons lost, man. And you know what I'm saying? Just trying to take my mind off that. They be pissing me off. I love them though, but they be pissing me off. So yeah, I just decided to hop on camera, man. Like, shoot, I just, you know, shoot the shit a little bit with y'all. Our carp said, when you look for recently sold properties to calculate the ARV, do you go back a certain amount of time, like 6 months to 12 months? That's not to calculate the ARV, our carp. To calculate the ARV, I'm just looking at the estimated value. So what you're talking about is looking for comps. But yeah, that's typically the amount of times you want to go back for your comp, 6 to 12 months. But honestly, man, if you're not like in a real big, huge market, you may more than likely you're probably gonna have to go back even further than that. But that's yeah, typically you're typically the closer to that date, the better. Anything within 6 months, excellent. Within 12 months, very good. But it's not gonna always be the case realistically. There you go, OJ. Exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Chris says, brother, we enjoy the longer videos. Let's let them rip, champ. That's what's up, Chris. Since Chris said that, y'all, I'm gonna just start doing them. I be consciously in my mind thinking that when I look at the time on the phone, be like, okay, I need to cut it short. But since Chris said keep them going long, I'm gonna keep them going long. What's good, bro? What's good, Strickland family? It's like Flip Man. Flip Man is my OG, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Flip Man is one of the cats that when I first was really seriously thinking about doing this, I would watch Flip Man YouTube. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the people that I would stay up all night watching. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just sitting up watching the Flip Man. And that's like my OG in this wholesaling game. Even though I never met him, you know, I've communicated with him a good bit of times, most certainly. But that's like my OG, man. And I guess him being from, I related to him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Him being from Alabama, me being from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that Southern thing, but that's just one of the people I related to when I started watching this stuff and researching on it. So, man, I always watch Flip Man stuff, and I know even in some of my videos, some of the game that I give to y'all is some game that I done took from the Flip Man that I've used and it worked for me. So. A lot of the game that y'all may be giving me credit for, I done took from the Flip Man and then applied it myself and like, damn, this really worked. And so just passing that game right back on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do the same thing, you know? That's what's up, Marble Grass. I appreciate that, bro. For real, for real. Exactly, Showmo. That's a it's kind of like list source. That's a more targeted list that link I put in the comments. That's gonna be a more targeted list. You know what I'm saying? So if you want some real targeted leads, order from there. That's my guy Eric. You order from there, put somewhere that Titus referred me. You know what I'm saying? He'll look out for you. Shannon Sugg says, do you use Realty Track? How do you approach leads from Realty Track? I don't use Realty Track, Shannon. I know I see the website pop up sometimes, you know, when I'm working online, but no, I don't really use it. Man, he a real dude. Flip Man got endless content. Yes, he does, man. He got endless content, you know, got endless stories. He got a lot of good game, a lot of great game that he be giving, you know what I'm saying? So the same way a lot of y'all, you know, mess with my channel, I be mess with Flip Man channel the same way. Like I said, that's my OG, man. Flip Man. One of the cats I started watching. Some more cats that I started watching when I was like really starting, you know, just soaking up my knowledge part of the game. Of course, Flip Man, a guy by the name of Naza Elarabah, and I hope I said his name correctly, but he's out of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? He's actually younger than me, killing the game. You know what I'm saying? Killing the game. Good, solid brother. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good cat to watch. Antonio Hitman Edwards, definitely mess with the Hitman, boy. I still watch some of Hitman videos. Antonio Edwards when I just need to brush myself up, you know, a little bit. So those are the cats that I was really rocking with heavy, you know what I'm saying, as far as the video goes. When I was in that phase of the game, you know, y'all, I used to have to get up like 7:30 in the morning, go to work. Man, sometimes I'll be up 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning just on YouTube watching videos, man. William Todd says, are you having success with bandit signs? Still my market a little slower on them. I do have success with bandit signs, William. Some months, I get no deals from bandit signs. Sometimes I may go 2 weeks without even getting a call from a bandit sign. Some months I may get 3 deals just off bandit signs. Some weeks I may get 6 calls just off bandit signs. But just keep, in my opinion, just keep your bandit signs out there. Normally when these people calling you, they ready to rock because they done caught this bland sign on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? So those bandit sign people who call, they ready to rock. What's cracking, Tamika? Thank you very much, Tamika. I really appreciate the good words. Thanks a lot. So how long you been doing wholesaling, Tamika? I know you say you're new to it. As far as how long you been doing it, time length wise. Duru, yeah. The real estate Duru. You're right, Chris. T White. T White says, did my first driving for dollars yesterday while listening to you, bro, and came up with some possibles. That's what's up, T White. You keep doing them that drive for dollars, T White. I'm telling you, dog, it's gonna bring you some gold. It's gonna bring you some gold. Also, go down them dead end streets. Them be gold down them dead end streets too. So just keep driving for dollars, man. Um, if you can, try to get you at least 20 driving for dollar leads out per week. Try to make that a goal. Try to get at least about 20. And as time goes by, increase that goal. And you'll start racking in deals. Rukid Pittman says, so if a deal can't be done within a time frame, what happens to the contract? Can they sue me? Yeah, yeah, they can definitely sue you, without a doubt. Um, you want what's called a backout clause in your contracts, Pittman, and that legally, um, and I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving y'all no legal advice. Consult with an attorney. But that kind of legally gives you the opportunity to back out if you can't get a buyer, and that's why it is of such importance that you do all your due diligence, you do all your homework, you make sure all your numbers are right. Because you really, man, just being real, you don't even want to put properties on the contracts that you know you can't get sold. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to even really be put in that position. But it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to have that conversation one time or another. Um, but yeah, you're gonna have a backup clause. Sean Thompson said, "What is driving for dollars? Driving for dollars, Sean, is when you get in your car, and you driving around different neighborhoods looking for vacant distressed properties. And as you see them, you write down the address, and you pretty much just doing that, driving looking for vacant distressed properties, driving around looking for vacant houses. You write down the addresses, excuse me, and then you come home, you look them up in the tax assessor site, and you send them some mail, something to the effect of you looking to buy the house. Blah blah blah. I was driving around the neighborhood. I knew this is vacant property, and I would like to buy it from you. You send them some mail, and they call you back about it. Okay, so you've been doing it about 2 months, Tamika. The ones you had on the contract with a is the price you had them on the contract, was it too high? Is that what happened? Joe Urban says, I called a for sale by owner sign like you said today. Just missed the deal. She said she'll call me back if they fall through. Thanks. You're welcome, Joe. Yeah, man. For sale by owners. That's another one, boy. Stay on those, man. Boy, they'll get you when you want to go. Every time you see them, man, I got a habit now. I used to do this. But I done got a habit now, man. Whenever I'm driving, wherever I'm going, wherever I'm at, I see that for sale by on the sign, bro. I'm doing everything in me to turn around and call that number pull over on the side of the street and call that number. You're welcome, Rookie. Where did you get title? Where did you get your contract from? I got mine. Where did you get my contract from? I think I got mine from another investor here in the market. I actually got a few different contracts. This is what I'm trying to remember where I got them from. But you really can go online, OJ, and get some contracts. In fact, let me see. I might can send you a link. Let me see if I can remember that website address. And they got a lot of contracts on here that you could use. Yeah, here it go right here. Got like purchase agreements, assignment contracts, pretty much everything you need. And if you look at these and these aren't appealing to you, you could just Google them. Google for your state, wholesaling. Excuse me. Google your state purchase agreement, or no, wholesale purchase agreement, purchase and sale agreements, or wholesaling contracts for your state. But there are plenty of them out there. Let me see. I'm gonna send you this link here. But yeah, check that link out. That'll give you everything you need. Shannon Suggs says, "Have you ever done the subject to deal?" I have not, Shannon. Have not done the subject to deal. To be totally honest with you, I really hadn't even educated myself thoroughly on subject to deals. I was a part of one at one point in time, but I was in the passenger seat really, and somebody else was driving that deal. But no, I don't even really pursue those situations to be honest with you. Chris says, how did you do in your very first appointment talking to your first seller? What were some things you brushed up on since then? Dang, that's a good question, Chris. Man, how did I do on my first appointment talking to my first seller? I guess I could say I did pretty good because honestly, I actually got the first seller I talked to. I got it on the contract. It was house on I think it was American Avenue. Got it on the contract, but I had it priced totally wrong. Had it priced totally wrong, and I didn't sell it. I coulda and shoulda sold it, but I just made a real big mistake that messed up that whole deal. But talking to that seller, man, I remember being just like super nervous. Not sure exactly what to say and exactly how to say it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I do remember just being real nervous, but trying not to let that convey through the phone as I talked to him. But I did get it on the contract. I messed up on it. I should have sold it. Actually had it sold. Chris said he got his contracts from the Flip Man. I think I got some contracts from Flip Man too. Like I said, I got a few of them saved on my computer, and I'm sure I got some from him. Yes, too high. And it'd be like that, Tamika. And you know what? That's actually a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing that the houses didn't sell, but I'm just saying it's a good thing you got them under contract. That gave you an opportunity to talk to two different sellers, research two different ARVs, repairs, and all that stuff. So that definitely will help you out because the more people you talk to and deal with, the better you're gonna become, and of course, the more deals you'll be able to close. No sweat, OJ. James Washington said, I find deals with good return on investment for rental properties. How would I target investors or buyers return of investment of 8% to 20% and figure in my cut? Are you speaking like from a wholesaling perspective, James, or are you looking more like lease owner options or something of that nature? Kind of clue me in on that. It's cool. I'm confused about them and trying to learn. Confusion come with it. Confusion and being nervous and all that stuff that come with the game. And over time you'll get better at it. Just like working on your jump shot. You know what I'm saying? The more time you shoot that ball up, that repetition stick in your brain, and the more sharp you become. OJ says subject two deals are for more experienced folks. If you don't do them right, you can screw yourself. Maybe take a class or get with a mentor who knows the ropes. I 1000% agree, OJ. And some people, that's what they target. That's what they do subject to. But I don't know. I'm sure I don't love playing the money on the table, but wholesaling is really what I like. That's what I focus on mostly. All right, y'all. I guess I'm gonna probably get ready to check out. We going on about 37 minutes. So I'm gonna be wrapping up here very shortly. Chris said he don't want no smoke with subject to deals. I don't understand him. I feel that. Say a 3 bedroom, 1 bath for 40K all in wholesale. Is that what the seller wants, James? I'm sorry, James. I guess I'm not understanding your question. Joe Urban says Bigger Pockets has contracts. Yes, they do. I think I got an assignment contract from them at one time. OJ said he heard Section 8 properties are where it's at. Um, I hear they're pretty good from like people who buy houses as rental properties. Because of course you know you're gonna get your money on time when it's supposed to be there. So yeah, I have a lot of investors do like that part of it. Sometimes I do hear them gripe about like the inspections and to meet the guidelines of Section 8. So it seems to be a lot more stricter than just, of course, being your own typical landlord without the Section 8 attached to it. Same here, OJ. That's the goal right now. You're welcome, Shannon. Are y'all two in the same city, Shannon and OJ? Um, no, Chris, I haven't hired a cold caller. Most of the calling most of the calling that I do, I do myself. Um, Sometimes like if I'm doing like a big mail campaign or something like that, sometimes I'll get like the VA to handle the phone for me. But most times than not, I'll be the person talking on the telephone. Most times, not always, but for the most part. Shannon says I'm from DC. I hear that is a great wholesaling area. The DMV, Shannon. You're welcome, James. No problem, Chris. Ronell says, share with us some of the strategies you are using today that we may not know if you can. Sure, I'll share one with you, which normally I typically would just share with my students. But uh, Facebook for sellers, learn it. Not here to tell you exactly how to do it tonight on this live, but just learn about marketing for sellers on Facebook. Just learn about it. Great thing about it, Facebook is very inexpensive compared to other avenues when it comes to marketing. Um, but that can become very, very fruitful for you. So, marketing for Facebook, I'm sorry, marketing for sellers on Facebook in your market. Just do your homework on it. Just go in that back end of Facebook, figure out your targets, you know what I'm saying? Your demographics. You'll be rocking. You're welcome, Ronell. BJ Duncan says, I got a six-figure deal on the table because of you. Congratulations, BJ Duncan. That means whenever I'm in your city, man, you got to treat me to dinner. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat me to dinner. Good night, bro. Good night, OJ. Hold it down. You can, Jamel, you can always get a attorney to look at them for you. I know that that's what I did the first time I had a deal on the table. Attorney looked over mine, and they said everything was cool. They didn't charge me nothing either. Or a title company if you're in the title state. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. And the better you get at like your demographics and like the picture you choose to put on and what wording you're gonna go with, that stuff work. I actually done sold a house using that same stuff, Facebook marketing. I sold actually like two houses through Facebook, to be honest with you. Not through the marketplace. This was before the marketplace really got popping. I used the Facebook ads, and I targeted mine specifically to real estate investors and brokers and people like that, and sold that joker. Sold both of them. Yep, exactly, Chris. Precisely. Are you a Harlem Globetrotter? How many bandit signs should I put up a week? If you can, get you out 50 a week. What I suggest to people is if you can start off like if you don't have any out there yet, put like 100 or maybe 200 out on one weekend. Spread them out, of course, and then after that, try to get you like 50 out a week if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, try to get you out 25 a week. But the thing is to be consistent with them. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing at least 25 bandit signs a week, you should be pretty much okay based on how big your market is. But if you can get you out there at least consistently 50 a week, you're gonna be doing good. Tyler, are you expanding outside your market? Yeah, but not as much as I should, BJ. Um, at this point, I think I should really start have branched out and be doing like more virtual wholesaling, like in places like like Florida or Tennessee. But I have branched out past my main market, but I really think I need to branch out outside of my state. When I had first bought my house, Marble Grass, I didn't really have a really a strategy in mind. Because when I first like my first house I bought, I wasn't as knowledgeable in real estate as I was now. So it really wasn't a strategy. It was just really trying to find something that I liked that I could afford at the time. Chris said you ain't gonna lie. Chris said he ain't gonna lie. You a beast if you can put out 100 signs in a night. That shit ain't as easy as sound on YouTube, man. You absolutely right, Chris. Um, putting like you say, as a sign on YouTube, it sounds like it's easy to just go put signs in the ground and put them on poles. That stuff don't sound as hard as it really is. But man, that is some hard work. That's some hard, tiring, repetitive work, especially if you're doing consistent. And like he said, if you're doing 100 in a night, which I have, I think the most I ever put out in like one night. I think I put out like maybe 163 signs in one night. And man, that stuff it took me probably about 4 to 5 hours, I think. I did it by myself. It took me like four to 5 hours. And man, I didn't get in till the sun was coming up. Boy, you talking about sleep? Boy, what up, Anthony? It's definitely coming very soon, Shannon, and you're welcome. Chris know what he talking about. Chris said, then you be paranoid for the police and random cars pulling up. Man, 40 is my record, family. I ain't about that. Like, hey, Chris, you are so right, dog. You got to be worrying about the police because they be looking at you like, dog, what is you doing out here? They looking at you like you up to no good. And then, like you say, you got the random cars pulling up, man. But you stick with it, Chris. You'll get better at them though. Or you can I won't say get better at it. You'll be able to put more out there. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me, man. I just started out putting out a whole lot, and then just one night I was just in the groove, man. I had ordered like I think like 200 or 300 signs. Like man, I'm about to put out as many as my body can take tonight. So I just got in the groove, dog, and just went ham on them, boy. BJ said he paid somebody to put mine out, which is smart, BJ. Which is smart. That may be something I need to look into. I guess I just be so particular, just be wanting to put it in certain spots and in certain ways, and I'm not in a real huge market. But I do need to get me one of these youngsters, man, one of these jokers in college or something like that need that extra money on the weekend, boy. That's a good question, T. T says with those 160 signs you put out, how fast did you get a deal? Um, Probably within 3 weeks. Probably within 3 weeks. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I had a great month that month. I had a great month that month. Had an excellent month that month. I remember I remember when they like delivered the signs to my house. Man, I had so many boxes outside my house. I took a picture of this on my Instagram. If y'all follow me on IG, just scroll down my timeline and that picture with all those boxes. That's the time I'm talking about. That's right, Shannon. I appreciate that. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. Show some love. You know what I'm saying? Go hit that like button for you, boy. Good looking out, Shannon. You know what I'm saying? Good looking out, Shannon. Intrepid says, how do you sell a house that someone died in? Pretty much from a wholesaling perspective, it's pretty much the regular thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just pretty much the regular thing. The regular thing. I've heard in some counties or cities that something has to be that you have to notify people or something like that. But to be honest, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of probate properties, which I'm sure that somebody probably did pass away in. To be honest with you, I try not to even talk about that part of it. I just try to, but it ain't nothing different about it though. Christian Gonzalez says, "Hi Toddy, I'm 17 and extremely eager to get into wholesaling, but low key, I'm kind of scared. Any advice?" And I follow on OG and I follow you on IG. Um, yeah, Christian. You already ahead of like 95% of your competition already because you're 17 years old and you already focus on this, dog. 17 years old, I was worrying about hanging out with my friends, shooting basketball, chasing girls at the mall, playing Madden. I still play Madden now, but still chase girls too. Not so much at the mall, but you feel what I'm saying. So you're already on the right path at a young age, man. So as far as what advice I can give you, do what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? Soak up all the game you can online through podcasts. Learn and research. Just start soaking up all the game you can. Get yourself get yourself educated as far as wholesaling goes. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you hit your 20s, man, you already smashing because you starting so young. You know what I'm saying? So by you starting so young, you'll be, by the time you my age, you know what I'm saying, you'll be a big, huge real estate mogul. And also by the time you my age, being you gonna be a huge real estate mogul, you can just hire me. You know what I'm saying? You can give me one of them old cushy jobs. Well, I ain't really doing them, but I got a fancy title, making about 200, 300 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? You just, hey. But yeah, just do what you're doing now, Christian, man. Just keep doing what you're doing now. And eventually just going out there and apply what you learn. Chris says, "Hey man, my plate's bad. I be too paranoid." Dog, you better man, you better go and pay for your tag, boy. Boy, you crazy. Uh yeah, it takes a while for the states and the zip ties out. It's hard work. Yeah. Chris, do you go ahead and put your signs on your stakes before you go out there? Do you prefer steaks or zip ties? I actually prefer the steaks. I really do. Even though I still use zip ties, but my preference is the steaks. I like the steaks a little better because you can put bigger signs on steaks. You really can't put them huge big signs on the signs. And also, I've noticed too, like the county or the city, they'll be a little more lenient with you on the steaks than they will be on the signs. Over, in this area, you put too many up on them signs, eventually somebody gonna call you. Hex Rex says, "Howdy, guy. Love your head. Do you have to buffer that with shoe shine?" No, I actually buffer that with coconut butter. You know what I'm saying? Hex Rex, aka Dickhead. Thanks, I appreciate the advice. No problem, Christian. Hi, Toddy. Do you have days that you prefer to put signs out on? I want to put my first signs out on Friday after 5 p.m. when code enforcement goes home. That way they'll be up for at least the weekend. My favorite time to put signs out, Alan, is actually in the wee hours. Um, in the wee hours of like Saturday. Like get up around like about 4 a.m., leave out the house around about 4:30 ish, and work from about 4 to 7. by the time the sun is coming up. And in my experience, that's the best time because most people work a 9 to 5 schedule, of course. So most people are, of course, going to be asleep around that time. And also around that time, all that traffic that's coming back from the clubs and, just stuff like that, by that time, they've already went home as well. So those are my favorite times. And to me, you just look a little less suspicious around 5 a.m. than you do at 1 or 2 a.m. Chris says them zip ties on stop signs come down quick. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. And them people, they'll start calling you about them stop signs. You're welcome, Alan. Tamika says, do you have a price list for your mentoring service? I do, Tamika. You know what? I'm going to actually send you my email address right now and just shoot me an email. I didn't just email you, but I just tagged you, Tamika. Have you been called by the county? Your sounds are fine. Yeah, Chris, I ain't been fine, thankfully, but they done called me a few times, man. This one county that's in my market, this one county in my market, they're a lot more strict than another county I work in. So normally, anytime I get out here and I twerk on them one good weekend, they normally call me that Monday, and it's normally early in the morning, man. Code enforcement guy, he's called me a few times. They have threatened to find me a few times, but knock on wood, I haven't been found yet. And you just kind of have to figure out along the way through your experience where you can get away with it and when you can't get away with it. Now, I'm being honest, I knew going into it, this county didn't play about the signs, especially how I was hitting them, because I was hitting them hard. They weren't used to them kind of signs down here where I was hitting them at. So I was coming hitting them hard on a Saturday morning or Friday night, hitting them hard. And they would call me on that Friday. But call me on that Monday. But I knew going into it that city they didn't really play it. But it was just such a good wholesaling market that I just have to take that chance, man. Brandon Moore, hello. It says, hi, Todd. Just starting out wholesale real estate business. Haven't received a deal yet. Trying not to get discouraged. Thanks for all your advice. Follow us on Billum Capital Group. Yeah, just don't get discouraged, Brandon. Don't get discouraged. If you have time, Brandon, go watch the very first video I did. And I talk about how I got discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I had quit this thing for real. Because I was just discouraged when I really first started it, trying to do it. I was just discouraged. So I was like, man, this ain't for me. Yeah, but if you got a chance, Brandon, just check it out when you got a little bit of time. It's the very first video on my page. T Flex says, tag me the price list too, please. All right, T. I'm gonna send you my email and just shoot me an email. I got you. I just tagged you, T. Chris said, how many counties do you work in? Actively, probably maybe about 5 or 6 that I consider like my main areas, my main target areas. Are you putting a website on your bandit signs? Alan says, no, not at all, Alan. I have a website, but I never put it on the bandit sign. In my opinion, you just want to be real quick and simple with your message on the bandit sign. Because think about yourself. You driving down the street, you at a stop sign, or whatever. If you just catching that sign for a quick second or two, more than likely you're not gonna go on your phone and go to that website. Now you may put that phone number in your phone and call it right then or call it later, but not more than likely you're not gonna put it in your at least I won't. You know what I'm saying? I see websites on signs, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you see a phone number, you may just call it right there at that point in time. So I don't really think it's any type of advantage of putting a website on your bandit signs. You don't want the sign to be cluttered. You just want a real quick message. We buy houses. I buy houses. Phone number. Bam. Keep going. And in fact, nah, I ain't gonna give you that game, Alan. I ain't gonna give you that, Jim. But no, I don't put the website address on there. Chris Tate says I put them signs on and off ramps and in shopping centers. I get calls but haven't closed the deal off signs yet. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Them shopping centers, they great. Shopping centers are real good because they're typically gonna be busy. Going and and going in and out of them. My bad, y'all. I lost my train of thought. And going in and out of them, people normally time they're gonna be driving slow anyway or slower, so that gives them more opportunity to reach the signs. Forever Noble says I had code enforcement call me for putting them signs on stop sign, $100 per sign. Yeah, they strict on them signs, them stop signs. Forever Noble. But I still have to get out there and, keep them on the feet every now and then, man. You know what I'm saying? So I still do that. You're welcome, Alan. Christian Gonzalez says, I finally got a couple questions. What was your biggest deal? 10K. And 2, was it scary getting into wholesaling? I don't know if scary is the right word to use because it's something I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just something I want to do. I always like real estate. It ain't really like I just figured out you can make some money doing this and I started doing it. I always liked real estate. When I first got my driver's license, like 16 years old, 17 years old, man, I remember me and my girlfriend at the time, when we see new developments of houses being built, before they actually put a door and lock them up, we'd always just walk around in there and say, oh, look at this, look at this. Oh, I would do this way, do that way. Long story short, I always liked it. I always liked the real estate. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say scary was maybe is the right word. I maybe it was apprehensive at times and uncertain. But I've always been excited to work in real estate, man. T Flesh says, do you get any deals off Zillow? I tried Zillow for sale by owner. Yeah. My second deal came from Zillow, T Fletch. I was sending lowball offers to people on Zillow. What I would do is I would filter out for sale by owners, filter that out, and then they'll have their phone number listed on there. So I would text them an offer, and then I would send them a message through that Zillow email thing, and I got a deal off that. Chris Tate said hit the shopping center Saturday night and get called on like Sunday or Monday, but the signs be gone before the week. Yeah, some of them places don't play that. I had Walmart call me before. One of their managers, she was real nice about it. She just, simply asked me, hey, anytime we see the signs, we're gonna take them down, and I know you're spending money on them, so we just ask you not to put them up over here. We only allow our Walmart signs here, and I understood that. So what I did, I just went a little bit up the street, off their property, and just put a big sign on a pole. T Flex says, but if you have Google Voice, how can the code enforcement catch you? Can you ever get caught? Yeah, you can get caught, T Flex. I'll just say this: if you really been a nuisance to them and they really want to catch you, they'll catch you. They'll catch you. Even if they got to get creative and call you on the house and get you out there and write you a ticket once you get out there. But it's harder with Google Voice and all them kind of numbers. It does make the process harder, and it may make them decide, well, you ain't bump it. Well, ain't worrying about it. But I'm just saying, like, if you're really out there doing way too much and they really want to find you, they'll find you. At the end of the day, it's still the government. Forever Noble says, I have a land lot on the contract. I use Bandit Signs, Facebook Marketplace, and reach out to other JVs to net any other advice. Them land lots are hard, Forever Noble. Or yeah, they hard to me compared to houses. Um, Cause like in my main market, unless you just got like real super prime real estate, man, they can be hard to move, bro. They can be real hard to move. And I really wish I could give you some solid sound advice on that, but I honestly can't, man. Um, that's really where that location matters with them land lots right now, man. How the real estate game is. Um, but I definitely hope you move it, man. I really wish I could give you some solid advice for the land lots. AMG wants to know, does anybody do virtual wholesaling this in the chat? Christian Gonzalez says, also, can you walk us through the process of a deal? Because I kind of understand everything else but this. Of a deal, I mean the negotiations and wholesaling fees. Um, Kind of explain to me more specifically what you mean with that question, Christian, and that way I can make sure that I answer it the right way. When you say walk you through it, kind of explain to me exactly what are you saying exactly. Forever Noble says, Tidy, what way works best for you when finding a cash buyer? Um, right now, I got like a pretty decent size of buyers that I normally deal with, so I normally reach out to them, the ones that are already in my network. But let's say for whatever reason none of them wants it, then what I probably would go is then I'm probably gonna get on Craigslist at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? To see if I can get a buy through Craigslist. Or I may, depending on the kind of property it is, I may just list it on Facebook and do a Facebook ad and just do paid targeting and just target buyers. You can actually go on Facebook and target buyers, y'all. And that goes back to what I was saying before, looking for motivated sellers. You can do real specific targets on Facebook. So I'll probably say Craigslist, Facebook. You can always put out bandit signs for buyers. That's how I got my first deal. So you can always go that route too. But you really eventually want to have enough buyers in your network where you can always text, call, email people, and they buy from you that way. AMG Property says thoughts on doing virtual wholesaling. I think it's excellent, man. The simple fact that you can make money off houses from your laptop or from your smartphone. My thoughts on it is next year I need to do a whole lot more of it. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying. So everybody that I know as far as investors, man, they love it. They love virtual wholesaling. Um, One of my boys, he's actually in the Baltimore area, DMV. That's what I'm trying to say. He's in the DMV area, and he does wholesaling. I mean, damn, he does virtual wholesaling, and he's always telling me like, man, you need to start mailing out here, start mailing out here, start mailing out here. Sometimes he even called me about properties here in my market. He'd be like, hey, go out there and look at this property for me, and he all the way up in the DC area. So I need to do more of that, man. Alan says, I'm a realtor and land is hard to move for us. Finding a builder would be the best route to see if the market is interested. And I totally agree with Alan. And that's been my experience with land lots here as a wholesaler as well, man. It's hard to move right now, man. It just, from my experience, it just has to be like super prime real estate. You know what I'm saying? And even then, the buyer, they're gonna want to. And I know this name of this wholesaling game is paying dirt cheap for properties, but they gonna want to literally and figuratively go dirt cheap. But yeah, when I get them calls on them leads, I don't really pursue them, and maybe I should. Maybe the market to do something else 3 to 5 years from now. Well, that is a good thing. But when I do my mail outs and someone come back as land lot leads, I don't do it. I don't really pursue them. Like from the beginning to end, like how do you end up making a profit? Oh, ooh, Christian, that'll be a man. That's gonna be like a real long walkthrough, man. Let me see if I could give you like a condensed version, Christian. From the beginning, you're looking for like a motivated seller. I'll give you an example of a motivated seller. Let's say somebody got inherited a house here in Atlanta, and they live in Los Angeles, and they have no intention of dealing with the house here in Georgia. So they just want to sell it real quick for cash. So they may go on the internet and search sell. They may go on the internet and search sell my house fast, Atlanta, Georgia. My site might pop up. They may go online, put the information on the site. I'll get the information, give them a call, ask them questions, hey, I just want to get a little more information on the house, can you tell me what kind of condition it's in? No, I'm really not sure. I inherited the house. Oh, okay. So, you haven't seen the house, you get that information from them. You kind of get a feel out of them. During that conversation, you kind of ask them how much they're looking to sell for. And at that point, you let them know you're going to do your homework or whatever. And then, you'll get back with them. And then from that point, you pull up that house, you do your due diligence on it. You get your ARV. And you try to have, if you can, opportunity to go out there and look at the house so you can get a good estimation of the repairs. So you get your ARV, you get your repairs, and you figure out the offer to your seller based on what the numbers are telling you. And let's say the seller said, yeah, okay, I'll take your offer. You be like, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you a purchase agreement. Make sure that sign it, and if you will, send it back so I have a copy of my records. So now you got a contract with that seller, and at that point, now you need to go find a buyer. And you typically want to just be able to pick up your telephones and call one of your main guys and say, hey, I got this property. Here's the address. Here's the code for the lockbox. And they'll go out there and look at it. They'll be like, yeah, I'm interested in the house. And then at that point, your buyer going to come back. And let's say if you ask for $85,000, your buyer, just like you with that seller, he want to get as low as he can. So you say you want $85,000 for it. Your buyer may say, well, I gave you $75,000. You may come back and say, well, I gave you $80,000. The buyer said, well, I'll do it for $78,000. Y'all agree on that price. And at that point, you put that buyer on the buyer's contract. So now you got a contract with your buyer, and now you already had your contract with the seller. And at that point, you send those contracts to the closing attorney or the title company. They're going to run a title. Basically, run the title, make sure there are no liens or anything, any kind of judgments against the property. Title comes back clear. At that point in time, you're going to get a closing date. Once you get your closing date, you all will come in, you'll close on the property, sign off, bam, just that easy. That's a condensed version. Forever Noble wants to know, I'm sorry, I should ask, how did you build your buyers list? The most effective way for me to build my buyers list for Forever Noble was just to keep getting good deals. Keep getting deals. When you keep getting good deals and people start knowing you around your market for getting good deals, then your buyers list, it will just expand organically, just naturally, just on its own. It'll be something that's happening that you're not even trying to make happen. Your buyers will put you on the other buyers. Buyers who wanted to buy property from you, but somebody may have outbid them, they're now your buyers. They're now your buyers list. You'll just have people reaching out to you saying, look, I invest in properties. Put me on your buyers list. So that's really, honestly, man, getting good deals. To me, that's the way you're going to get your best buyers and have your best relationship with your buyers, just by getting good deals. You got a good relationship with a buyer, you'll find out sometimes that they'll just end up buying a house from you just because they've already bought a lot of houses from you. You know what I'm saying? They may not really want to even buy the house. Not really. I'm not saying anybody forces somebody to do something. But I'm saying that relationship you got with them becomes so paramount. It's like, let's go. I got some cash to spend. What you got? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like that. Are you talking about Mark Whitten in Baltimore? No, not Mark Whitten, but I know Mark. I don't know him personally, but I know of Mark, I guess I should say. But no, not Mark. This is the guy by the name of T. Hook me up with your boy from DMV. I tell him you want to reach out to him, Shannon. Ty, what's your thoughts on bumper stickers, car magnets? I don't see nothing wrong with it. Anything that's getting your message out there, what you doing, roll with it. Try it out, test it, see how if it works. I don't see nothing negative about it at all. Nothing at all. I'm glad you came too, Christian. You'll be the young gun of the group. All right, party people. It's been like a good hour and 16 minutes, man. We'll go like 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes. Y'all got any more questions, go ahead and let them rip. If not, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, man. Also, if any of y'all play Madden on Xbox, add me. I'm about to put in my gamer tag. I'll be on that man with no Falcons, so add your boy. If you on the Xbox, I just put my gamer tag in there, so mess with me. Due process, it's gonna be up. It'll be up on my channel, so you can watch the replay. David Pugh says, should you have a buyers list first? Nah, don't worry about that. Just go get out there and do your thing. The very first house I got on the contract, the very first deal I had nobody on my buyers list. Just go out there and do your thing. If you really truly get a good deal, somebody gonna buy it from you. Chris says, did you ever get hung up on a title issue and deal fall through? Oh yeah, man. Too many times. Also, did the buyer get upset or how did it work out? No, buyer never get, like, if it's a title issue, I never had an experience where the buyer gets upset because the buyer understands just as well as I do. Hey, the title ain't clear. The title ain't clear. Here's your earnest money back. Let's go out here and get another property together. Add me, Chris. I'll bust your ass with them Falcons, man. Christian Gonzalez says, make sure you get my message on IG. My name is Zadit Butter 6. Okay, I ain't gonna. Yeah, all right. I'll look at it here in just a moment once the stream is over. Make sure you sign a contract, Positive Vibes. Positive Vibe asks a good question. Hey, what's going on, Toddy? How do you make sure you get paid on a joint venture agreement? You want to make sure you got something in writing, just like you would have something in writing with any other seller. And when it's time to actually close on that property, make sure that your JV agreement goes to that lawyer's office or goes to the title company office, just like the rest of the contract. So, and that way you on paper. You're welcome, David. I appreciate you watching. BJ says he has a property under contract right now in Charlotte on the busy thoroughfare for $236,000. I'm signing it for $600,000. God damn, BJ. Boy, yeah, you owe me dinner, dog. Straight up, man. You owe me dinner and 2 drinks, dog. You shouldn't have told me them numbers. That dinner and 2 drinks, BJ. Yeah. Well, yeah. I gotta get it. And I know you're in Charlotte too, so I'm gonna make it my business, BJ, to come out there and get my drink and get my dinner that you owe me. Good. Congratulations, dog. Good God, boy. Woo. Y'all mustn't see what BJ said he about to get. Boy, BJ about to have a great 2019. Boy, woo. Gerald Penn says, is it gay to kiss a man if your wife asks you to? He is straight. Yeah, I think that's gay, Gerald. Y'all see that? How do you make sure your JV contract goes to the office? You send it to the closing attorney or the title company. You find out who's doing the closing and you send it to them. Get the trolls out of here, man. Golly. You right, Chris. Chris, next live I do, if you want, I'm gonna make you a moderator, Chris. Cause they sure they came in here. I don't know what Jira got going on. Good night, Margaret Grass. Due process, we do need some moderators. Jira said he ain't no troll. Jira said y'all got him bent. He ain't no troll. Jira said he came here for some advice from a real one. Gerald, you know what? You right. I'm sorry, man. We sitting here making fun of that question, man. And I did say, the title says, let's talk wholesaling or whatever. You're right, Gerald. On behalf of the group, I apologize. Chris takes you, but you off the chain. But y'all are killing these comments. Any advice on how to not sound like a newbie during deals? Be confident in yourself. Be confident. Be confident. And just keep in mind, you're selling yourself, just like a job interview. Just be confident in yourself. T-Fledge. T-Fledge, what's going on with these people tonight, T-Fledge? Did what happen when you do lives after 12 o'clock? Hey, you welcome, R-Cart. I may just do lives every time the Falcons lose, and that may be a lot for the next 2 months. So, y'all stay tuned, man. Chris Jerry said, you better watch your mind. AMG Properties talking about y'all lost to the Browns. Man, that was so embarrassing, dog. It ain't the fact that we lost to the Browns. It's how we look when we lost to the Browns, bro. We look like a college team tonight or today. Have you dealt with racism while visiting properties? That's a good question, due process. That's actually a great question. No, I haven't. Not as of yet. And that may be surprising being that my market is in Georgia, but I really haven't. Nothing that has been directly in my face. I can't, not to say that maybe I visited a property and somebody decided not to sell it to me because of the color of my skin. Excuse me. I'm sure that probably has happened. Excuse me. And just being honest with you, I've talked to some sellers who say they are selling it to me because of the color of my skin. But as far as direct racism, no, not directly, thankfully. Gerald says, I have a very successful shrimping business. Got a contract for $250,000 for a few thousand pounds of fresh Alaskan white shrimp. Congratulations, Gerald. Yeah, Solomon said Browns put both their feet in our asses. Yeah, they did, dog. Dog, and then we're gonna let now Chubb, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I met with the Georgia Bulldogs too. That my boy too. So it was all right to see Chubb have a good game, but for us to lose like we lost against a bunch of rookies, Chubb and Baker Mayfield, like that, the team filled with rookies, and we lost to them like. But y'all just don't know it's hard being a Falcon fan. Unless you're a Falcon fan, you really not gonna relate to that statement I just made. Dang, zero opinion off the chain, boy. Solomon said, I'm a diehard still out. Yeah, y'all got us early this year too, Solomon, boy. Y'all put that thing on us earlier. I had on Patriots get while visiting Gwinnett County last week, and boy, I looks like a kid. Yeah, dog, we don't like the Patriots in Georgia for obvious reasons, bro. And they're not looked upon greatly in here, bro. We don't like the Patriots. I'm definitely I ain't like it before the Super Bowl, but now after the Super Bowl, man, Tom Brady and Belichick. See, Brian say still a nation in the house. AMG repping them Vikings. AMG, didn't we beat y'all? Didn't we beat the Vikings last year, AMG? I think didn't we? I think did we beat? Nah, y'all beat us like 12-0. My bad. Y'all beat us. What team is Le'Veon gonna go to? I don't know, but it ain't gonna be nobody this year. He done missed the deadline, man. So ain't no telling, man. He'll probably end up somewhere like the Cardinals, something like that. Yeah, you're right, AMG. Christian said he from Texas, so I rock with the Cowboys, and yes, I know they're absolute trash. Y'all got to get Jerry Jones out of there, man. He got on too many hats. Arizona's Pittsburgh West. Solomon Vega says, I'm working toward my first deal here in Texas wearing my Steeler lanyard deep in Cowboy country. Yeah, y'all don't like each other. I will say this about them Cowboy fans, especially the ones in Texas. Man, them folks are boy, they fanatics about them Cowboys. Um, I had actually went to the Super Bowl that we lost, and after the game, I went and hollered at my partner who live in Dallas. Man, them Cowboy fans, they go hard, man. That's all you saw, just Cowboy, Cowboy, Cowboy. Everybody talking about the Cowboy, 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 Cowboy. So y'all go hard from the Cowboys in Texas, man. So props on that. Yeah, Jason talking about Cowboy Nation. He said they only fans when the Cowboy win. And actually speaking of that, man, I actually got the chance to see Emmitt Smith. They had him doing a signing at the mall. I think it was that Friday or Saturday before the game was played. And man, them Cowboys fans had that line so long waiting to see this man. Standing in line for hours to see Emmitt. Jamel Richards said, are you filling out contracts on computer or DocuSign or something before sending it over to sell it electronically? Typically DocuSign, that's good. I have used DocuSign before and I do like it. If I'm doing it electronically, I'll normally actually just scan it and email it to them, and they'll email it back to me. So that's how I'm normally doing it. Or if I'm doing it in person, we'll just sign it, right in front of each other. They'll have a copy, and then I'll keep a copy. Vikings in the Super Bowl, rep NFC. Anybody but them Saints, dog. As long as them Saints don't come to Atlanta in February, hey, do your thing, bro. Anybody but them Saints. My Rams getting the rain this year. It's been too long, fam. The Falcons blew their shot. Chris Tate, sadly, I agree with you on the part about the Falcons blowing their shot. Because we sure blew our shot. And y'all got a good shot. You know what I'm saying? That's one team I wouldn't be mad at winning the Super Bowl in Atlanta. Would be the Rams. Because I like Gurley. You know what I'm saying? Gurley a dog. Damn good dog. So, you know what I'm saying? I like Gurley. You know what I'm saying? And LA like my second favorite city after Atlanta. I love Los Angeles, man. I was out there in May. I was out there like in 2000. Man, I love LA, dog. If I could afford to live out there, I'd be living in LA right now. I love Los Angeles. Positive vibes. The furthest north I've been past Macon was like um up in Griffin. No, Stockbridge. Stockbridge. That's the furthest I've been doing deals. I've talked to sellers in Atlanta, but I haven't done a deal there yet. I really actually, to be as close as I am to the city, I really need to be more active up there. I really do. Maybe that's something I get a hold on next year. Style Mo say, what a disappointment. Why is it a disappointment, Mo? Yeah, dog. I rep Gurley hard, man. I actually went out to LA in 2016 when the Falcons played the Rams, man. Girly my dog, man. And then Girly be repping them Bulldogs so hard too. You know what I'm saying? Once the dog, always the dog. So I ain't got nothing but love for Girly. That's Girly is actually probably my favorite college player of all time. Todd Gurley. When I played football, I wore number 3. When I played football, I played running back, similar running style. So that's my dog right there, Gurley. UGA all day. We're going to beat Bama this year. We're going to shock the world. Oh. That's right, Style Mo. Rise up. They let us down today, Style Mo, but man, we gonna get right. We hurt this year. And then we hosting the Super Bowl. They ain't never been done before, so maybe it's good for us for the Super Bowl to go and get out of that line and we'll win it. Due Process says, is there anyone in particular you follow that's giving you good advice on wholesaling? Yeah, absolutely, Due Process. We talked about that earlier. Flip Man gave me so much golden advice. NASA, LRB, and I hope I said his name correctly. Antonio Hitman Edwards, golden advice. So those are some of the people, you know, and I'm forgetting some people, of course, that have gave me some golden advice. You know what I'm saying? I still look at their videos to this day, man. Dennis Bell says, have you got any other parts of real estate investing like tax lien certificates? Not yet, but that is a good avenue. Not as of yet, but that's definitely a good avenue. Solomon says, what's your email? I'm gonna put it in the string, Solomon. I just put it in the comments. Chris say, can we boot Gerald? Gerald is on some other stuff tonight. I don't know what's going on with Gerald. Gerald Ping. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate you looking out. Like Shannon say, y'all smash that like button. Shannon say hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button. Due Process says, I get intimidated with estimates and math. I can't read the other part of it. My bad, Due Process. For whatever reason, I got something on my arrow on my phone that won't move. I can't reach your question. I get intimidated with estimates and math. I'm scared of over. I'm scared of over or undervaluating property. Don't let that stop your scale Due Process. It's gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen until you learn and get the experience that you really need to get at a point where you're real comfortable with your numbers. It's gonna happen, and you know, just look at it as a learning experience. You know, sometimes you're gonna overestimate, sometimes you're gonna underestimate, but it is a learning experience. So you know, just look at it that way, and don't be afraid of that, man. I still do that to this day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I still do that to this day. So don't let that get to you. All right, party people. I'm gonna go ahead and check out for real this time, man. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, bro. Tonight was real entertaining. May hop on here sometime this week and do another live stream, man. I don't know. So I really appreciate all y'all time. Y'all got any questions or anything? This Stream will be up, so feel free to ask any questions or anything of that nature. And check out Christian Gonzalez Instagram. He just put it in the group, so check him out. But other than that, man, y'all be good. I'm out of here. Peace.